Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Season 2, Episode 21, Plan 10. I thought this was a pretty good episode. It had really good action in it. My favorite part, oddly enough, was the little bit that we got as far as the Kraang mission, and also the very end where Donnie got inspiration from the anime that they watched to create a turtle robot, like a giant combining mecha robot thing. So I'm excited to see that and what this plan is going to mean for the turtles and what they're really going to have to go up against. But it was a really good episode. It was a nice way to progress the plot towards what the Krang are planning, what we're going to get to see out of them. And also, just it was a cool episode to see Raphael have to deal with something far out of the ordinary for what he normally has to deal with. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I actually liked the fight scene at the end with him in the Krang body. Um, I guess because it was different, it just looked kind of cool. It was his same moves, but it was in a really sleek body. I don't know, for some reason it looked really cool to me. But I enjoyed that end fight scene. It was funny when Casey and April switched, and Casey was like kept pinching April's butt. I thought that was a funny scene. But overall, I thought it was a good, funny little episode. It sort of seemed like an episode that was kind of a one-shot episode that didn't have anything to do with the main story, but it obviously did because it had to do with the Krang. And not only that, like I said, we get to learn a little bit of information about the plans that the Krang have coming up. I kind of wish it was more like the most recent couple of episodes because that had a lot to do with the Shredder. And honestly, I think anyone would admit that the Shredder stuff is always more entertaining because it's really dramatic and it's always very intense. And when it comes to the Krang, it's just really silly with how the Krang talk, and it's gotten a bit more serious because they've had the whole like last season where they brought the Technodrome to Earth and stuff like that. So it's gotten a bit more serious, but it's still they're the more comedic side of the villainy as far as the Ninja Turtles go. So I always enjoy the Shredder stuff more, but of course we can't leave out the Krang, so they'd have to do it eventually. And this was a good episode for it. I like the little stuff with the Krang being in Raphael's body. He was talking like a Krang, but in Raph's body. And like I said, the action was good, the comedy was good, them making fun of Raph because he got switched with the Krang. I thought that was nice. It was good to see the entire team. We got all the turtles, we got Casey, and we got April. We saw Splinter, of course. Splinter only fights during the most, amazing moments, but we got to see everybody, so that was pretty cool. And that was also one of my favorite parts about it was that they took Casey and April to go help Raphael, so it was everyone fighting together as well as Raph being in the Krang body. He was fighting against the other Krang too. But it was a really good episode. I enjoyed it. It kind of flew by. It was one of those episodes that just, I feel like I only saw like 5 minutes worth of content, but I enjoyed everything I saw. That's just how that episode felt to me. Like it just flew right by. But I enjoyed the episode. It was good to get that little bit of information from what the Krang are doing because we haven't really seen them. It's really, really been focused a lot on the Shredder side of the enemies, I guess. So it was good to get back to the Krang. And the next episode, I'm curious to see what's really going to be taking place and who the villain is going to be, if they're going to do kind of like a bunch of episodes with Krang like they did a bunch of episodes with Shredder recently. So curious about that, but it was a good, funny episode. The action was good, the comedy was good. It was a typically good Ninja Turtles episode. Nothing super amazing, but we got a little bit of plot for the Krang. I hope that comes to fruition very soon, sooner rather than later, so we don't have to wait too long to get a lot of cool stuff out of the Krang. And I don't know how many episodes this season is supposed to be, but this is episode 21, so I feel like they have to be getting near the season finale, although I feel like they haven't really, if anything, this episode kind of takes it back considering what they did with all the Shredder stuff. It seemed like that was ramping up to something, and then it finally concluded, and now it's almost like they're starting over again. So by the season finale, they blend them all together, maybe, because Shredder and the Krang have kind of gone their separate ways. But it was a good, simple little episode. I'm really excited to see Donnie complete this turtle mech thing, which I'm assuming that's going to be our season finale. That was probably one of the other little things that kind of hints like, hey, we're getting towards the end of this season, because he's building a giant freaking turtle mech. So that's one of the big things that they're going to reveal for the season finale, I'm sure. But it was a good episode. Also a random little moment I enjoyed. was when Casey was watching the anime. He was like, "Where are the subtitles?" Because I hate dubbed anime. I thought that was a really good line because it just speaks to a ton of anime fans who are like, I prefer subbed over dubbed and stuff like that, and people who just hate like American voice actors in anime compared to the original voice actors. So I thought that was a cool little moment. But overall, a good episode, and I'm excited for the next one, of course, because they're just making good episodes for this show. But comment below, let me know what you guys thought of it. Favorite parts, least favorite parts, and what do you guys want to see come from Donnie's turtleneck? Do you guys want it to be like a giant, almost Power Rangers style Zord type of thing, or do you guys want it to be, you know, smaller and it's just like a little battle suit for each of the turtles? Comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.